Oh, all right.
And
Got it.
got it. And we are live on YouTube. So welcome, Fiona.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you so much for today's session. It's a great opportunity to get together and take you through a what I call a quantum healing session, and lightly with some soul fragment retrieval. And I'd like to give a shout out to Jenny at Starseed Academy and her fantastic group, because we haven't really interacted, but we met
Totally.
there today. And you were sharing some experiences you'd had in meditation. And it was also Jenny that said to me, "Hey, Jon, like you should like showcase your talents and
Yeah.
do the thing that's stretching me out of my comfort zone. I usually do these just recorded, and so it's an opportunity to go live. Why not go live on social media and do these things?"
Why not?
So thank you to Jenny, and hello to you, Fiona.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay, so feel free to interrupt me at any time through this.
Sure.
I'll set us up a safe space first of all,
Right.
and then we'll start having a chat with your spirit guides. And feel free to mute yourself at any time, or just interrupt me. It's also cool. And so when you're ready, if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths with me in through the nose, nice and deep. Hold and breathe out through the mouth what no longer serves our highest good. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And release the stress and anxiety of a lifetime. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And release any low vibration energies or entities. Continue to breathe deeply and calmly. And from the divine sparks in the center of our hearts, we extend a light cord up through the top of our heads, up through the sky and to the stars, going higher and higher to the dimensions, higher and higher until you reach the highest dimension of this universe, and there connecting our light cords into the source of love of this universe. And remain connected into source and extend our light cords down through the stars, through the sky, back down to the top of our heads and into our hearts once more. And now, from the center of our hearts, extend our light cords down through the roots of our spine, all the way down through the layers of the planet, going deeper and deeper until we reach the very core, Mother Earth. And there, connecting our light cords into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend our light cords up through the layers of the planet, through the roots of our spine and into our hearts once more. And now, from the center of our hearts, we expand out our golden light to surround each of us individually at first with golden bubbles of protective light. Just feel this energy of our hearts expanding out to about 2 meters out from the center of our hearts, above, below, in front, and behind us. And we set the intention that only energies and entities with our permission, our highest good love and compassion, can see us, access, or exist within this space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. We invite in our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And through space and time, I create a golden bubble around Fiona and myself, through all dimensions of us. And I set the intention that only energies and entities with our permission Our highest good, love and compassion can see as access or exist within the space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. We invite in our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Source, and Gaia. And we set the intention for today's session that we're here to assist Fiona in whichever way will serve her highest good at this time, to assist in clearing and healing, identification of any soul fragments for reintegration and healing, for any past life wounds that need healing at this time. And ask that one of Fiona's guides step forwards to assist in the communication of today's session. And just in case I was wondering whether I would get like a guide to step forwards. So you'd mentioned just before we went live, Fiona, Archangel Uriel came forwards and stepped forwards, and he just placed his hand on my left hand as I'm holding it up, just for the avoidance of doubt that he is or isn't there. He wanted to make sure. It's like, yes, and then touched my hand. So thank you, Archangel Uriel. And then he's showing me on your back. And again, I want to acknowledge you were describing this earlier. He was showing wings, like he's showing your wings. He's wanted me to take a look at the wings on your back. And he's showing this cycle, like there's this cycle that you're going through of this retrieval of entities in the lower realms. So in hell, in the lower realms of hell, retrieving entities and then bringing them up. And you do this again and again. This is part of your job in a previous incarnation. And he's just showing me like, it's like you would dive down like an eagle or a hawk, like you'd dive down into the lower realms. You'd grab a soul that was ready. Like these souls they're not doing it against their will. They're ready to come up. They're ready to come up to higher levels. And then you dive down and you're bringing them up higher and higher. And depending on their intention about where they want to get to, and then also their vibration, like their readiness, then it's like you're dropping them off. So if it was you or I, they would drop you drop us off at this level, like on Earth at this time. You're on mute, Fiona. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, Fiona, but you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, yeah, well, then maybe that is this sort of weird big spinning thing that I see that almost has like kind of holes, like portal holes, and then they shoot through. Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost like, I mean, it sounds stupid, but like a mail delivery slot, kind of like, here you go, here's
another one.
A soul poop. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that is kind of what that, and then it goes where it's supposed to go. I don't know.
I heard, and I was asking, as Uriel was showing this, I was asking like, who is this? Is this Fiona as Uriel is a previous incarnation? And I was just hearing the name Gladial, like it's not a familiar name to me. Gladial, as being like a female. I was shown as like a female angel, Gladial.
Okay.
What is
Huh.
gladial? So, and this would be fascinating to research. And I must admit,
Uh-huh.
like I'm not the expert on archangels, but
No.
Uriel's saying to me that gladial is the divine feminine of Uriel,
Okay. Hmm.
which it blows my mind a bit. But
Mm-hmm.
that is really that's really beautiful. Thank you sharing.
Wow.
And you
Cool.
so you had in this previous lifetime, this previous incarnation of you, you had this role, you had the abilities of Uriel as
Mm-hmm.
Uriel exists in this now moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm showing you. Let's see where like what is the end to end cycle of when you're retrieving souls like this. Just asking Uriel to show us. And there's like a calling. It's like you're taking orders from source, and you're called. So there's a frequency that you're being called to. There's a frequency like a readiness. It's an ascension. So we don't often think of the lower realms of hell. And when I go there, I see up to about uh, level minus 99, and like there's a frequency match where it's almost like we are right now when we're pushing up in into the very top of the third dimension in Jon and Fiona's ascensions, and we're pushing up into the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions. That there's this frequency, like it's almost like a tension, like a misalignment as we're pushing up through each boundary of each dimension.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you listen to. That's what you're listening to in this lifetime, and so it you would answer these calls of souls who were ready to go up to the next level, and some would go one level at a time, and some would go multiple levels at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And some would choose to go all the way back up so they could return to source. It's like they had a choice. And so like a
Hmm.
stepping ladder, a stepping stone, you know, if you're all the way down at minus 99, um, and as unlikely as it sounds that you'd ever want to um, continue to go higher, uh, but even these beings that we might consider to be lost for eternity, that they are just like all of us entitled to continue to do their work and continue to ascend, and so they could choose to keep climbing each step by doing their work. And I feel like there's like a um just like we do shadow work at this level, in the lower levels of hell, if let's say a demon wanted to ascend, it has to do its own work. Like it has to face its own fears, its own shadows, and also its own love. And it's like this practice of love. And I feel like there's this aspect of love, like every negative entity still has like this little divine spark in the center of its heart, no matter how small. And you could hear that. You could hear like its call. I'm just getting this ringing in my ears as I say that. This like high frequency, and it's that tone that you listen to, that call, where it's like I'm ready to love a bit more now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready to ascend a bit more. And there's a trauma to this incarnation as Gladiol that I'd like to understand. Like what happened here? Like why did you stop? How did this journey come to an end? Like what was the trauma? So Uriel's showing me there's deception at the heart of this. There is deception where it's quite complicated, but I'm seeing. Let me see if I can get specific. So I'm seeing level minus 6, so it's not very far down. Like you could almost imagine, you know, a human being in a very low vibration state in the third dimension and being at level -6. And these, you could also see these numbers as being like they are dimensions. And there's this effort by negative entities at that level to um it's like a I'm hearing it's love by proxy. And how are they doing this? It's like they're faking this love, like one entity is faking this love energy. So they're, if I can explain this, so there's there's negative entity A and negative entity B.
Mm-hmm.
And negative entity A decides that it wants to get rid of negative entity B, and it wants Gladial to take negative entity B and return it up to source, and actually against its will. And so what negative entity A would do is focus its love energy on this other on negative entity B, and basically and like send this love frequency. So that tone that you were looking for, it would send this love through this other um, negative entity B, and that's the you would think you were hearing the call of negative entity B that was ready to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this trick, this illusion. And I'm seeing that this happened like many times, but it happened like also at much lower levels. And I'm just feeling down a bit further. The the energy is really intense because I see some, like there was multiple times there was in the, I'm seeing like 10, 20, 30 times. And it was like a rumor where, you know, negative entities aren't amazingly good at communicating with each other or working together, but they can share like a bit like if you're in a prison cell, you can, you know, share all your kind of dirty tricks with others, and they would do this with each other, although they wouldn't work effectively as teams. They would share, and so there was this effect where they would decide which negative entity next that they wanted you to take away and to return to source against its will. And they would focus what small love energy they had. So sometimes it'd be a few negative entities, like let's say 4 or 5, focusing what little love they have on one entity, and this entity would light up. They'd be like, that entity they focused on would suddenly fill with this love energy, and to you would look like they were ready. They were like, look at this entity. They're like, their heart is like is glowing, and they're ready to go up. And when you found this out, like when you, and this is where all of Uriel, so this is where the divine masculine aspect of Uriel um was born, in this realization that it's like the divine feminine of you, Gladiel, was able to receive, but there was no like boundaries. Oh wow. So I'm just seeing, so this vision. So just before I started the session, I was standing out in my garden under the moon, and the moon had a big halo around it. And as I was standing out in my garden, grounding barefoot on the grass, preparing for the session, um, my guides were saying, John, your session with Fiona is all safe as long as you remain in this ring, in this boundary circle. And as like, and I just saw you doing this, like you would, what together with the divine masculine aspect of Ural would do is when you selected a soul to ascend and either bring it up to source or another level, you'd encase them in this like beam, like this big tube of light, And that stopped any interference from any other entity. And so it would give you complete clarity. Um, so this like big pipe of energy, this protective cylinder that you place around that entity. And so you knew that if you place that around an entity, wherever it was, whatever frequency, then you would see it like you were shining a light on that entity and that entity alone. And as you developed this, because you were um, as Gladiol and Uriel, as you developed as an angel, you first developed this gift of being able to discern individual entities and wrap the cylinder around them. And then you discover, this is when and how you discovered that actually some of these entities were not ready, and that shocked you. So the first time you did this, you're like, hang on, this entity that I meant to do my mail delivery for was like, they're not lights. Like, they're not ready.
Yeah.
Why did I think the calling frequency was correct? And that's when you could see, like, you'd look down this, it's I see you like looking up from a very high dimension, like the 21st dimension above, and you're looking down through this tube through so many different dimensions and down to where this entity is. And you can just see on the outside of that cylinder these little beams of love energy being sent off by these other dark entities, these negative entities, and it bouncing off. And you're like just going through this realization that, oh, this is deception. This is an illusion. These souls aren't ready. And I'm just asking how you reacted. So what did you do in that moment? You you went back. It's like you're rewinding in your memory, but also in space and time, rewinding back through space and time, and thinking again about all those souls. Like, is there a number? Is the number important? I don't know. I'm just looking back. It's like 10, 20, like counters going up 30, and it's like into the 50s. And I think at that point you stopped. You're like, there's just many souls affected. And in this moment, in this trauma, you decided that that's it. Like, you didn't want this job anymore, and you didn't want this gift to do this. And you could see that you'd returned like 50 upwards. I'm seeing like 54 souls against their will. Um, and so that's when this trauma happened, where you broke off part of yourself. And I'm seeing you like, so going back to the wings, like you're breaking your wings off and you're throwing the wings down this same cylinder that you use to protect the boundaries of your work. And it's part of you as well. And so there's this fallen angel, just like you would dive down to retrieve souls, like you sent yourself down and you close that cylinder. So there's part of you there. And I'm just trying to discern, like, what is it important what parts of you is there? The wings is definitely a focus, but is there more of you? Okay, so I'm hearing that we'll see. We're going to go there. We're going to get that lost part of you. We're going to bring it back, and then we'll see all of that. And I just want to hold space for the experience, this journey, and this trauma that you've experienced, and to know that there's no judgment here, and that everything happens for a reason, and these reasons will become more clear as we progress through. And so when you're ready, I'd like to invite forwards we're going to take Archangel Uriel with us, and I would like to bring yourself, Fiona,
A
myself.
sense of being a failure, I guess.
Yeah.
A fraud and a failure.
Holding space. There's so much love for you and with you this time.
And I disappointed them.
And I'd like to thank you, Fiona, for being brave and coming to this moment, coming to this space and time, being ready to face this trauma and to face this understanding and this healing, and to know that more will be revealed that will help explain more about the bigger picture, about why all this happens, and to know that you're loved and you're held at this time. And so when you're ready, I'd like Fiona, Archangel Uriel, and myself and my guide, Emenchal, who's a lion being, the four of us are going to stand together just now, and we're going to, I'm just asking Uriel to create a portal, a doorway. So we're going to remain in the safe space of the session that we created and just create a doorway. And this doorway is to a waiting room next to us. And so when you're ready, just to open the door, and the four of us will step through into this waiting room. And this is a place between worlds. And here in the waiting room, there is Fiona, Uriel, Jon, and Emenchal. And there's part of you here as well that's connected to your soul fragments in the lower levels of hell. And this is the aspect of you. It's like a bridge between Fiona and this fragment. And this is Gladiel, who's waiting here. She's been waiting a long time, and she's been waiting for this moment. And I'd like to bring in just this loving energy into this room, to know that you're safe, you're loved, and that we're here to help. And now I'd like you to see 3 doors in front of us off the side of this waiting room. On the left-hand side is the highest dimension door. This is a highest timeline where all your dreams and your goals in this life are being lived. And to know that that's always there, and that you're always being called to that door. And that by doing work like this today, you're making it easier and easier to become lighter and lighter and to step into that dream life. And then there's a door in the middle, and this is the same door that we just stepped through. It's the now moment of us. It's the current vibration, the current timeline. And then there's a door to the right, and this is the lowest vibration door. This is the door that we're about to step through to do this work. And we're all coming together. I'm with you the whole way, Fiona. And so I'm just opening up this door now and inviting the four of us to step through. And inside this door is an elevator. We're just going to step into this elevator now. So the four of us, Uriel, Fiona, Jon, and Em and Shal, the four of us are stood in this elevator, and I'm going to select a number, a minus number, to take us into the lower levels of hell, and just checking down to see which number to press. And I'm just being shown briefly, like there's lots of numbers lighting up, like just not on, but they're just blinking, and it's like just it's symbolic of the different places that you visited, and lots of the places that you did work, but also where you experienced this trauma that we're here to help heal, and just settling on the number that where your fragment is. Okay, and so I'm being shown that your soul fragment also had been bouncing around between the different levels. So I'm just going to choose on one where it can settle. And it's on 55. 55 is symbolic because it is the number of souls plus one. So it's the souls that you had been misled to return to source plus you. Okay. And so I'm just pressing the button now, and we're traveling down together. And we're safe in this elevator. And we're very safe with Archangel Uriel, who's setting a beautiful boundary energetically around us, allowing ourselves to travel down through -10, -20, -30, -40, -50, and just slowing down until we hit -55 and to stop. And when we're ready, just becoming aware of what's outside the elevator door. And I'm just asking Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, just to give us some space as we're about to open up. So he's creating this tunnel outside of the door that's creating a protective space for us to step out into. And just allowing us now to step outside of the elevator, the four of us together. And we set the intention to locate this fragment of Fiona's soul, here to retrieve, to bring back, to heal and integrate. And so what I was seeing just before we opened the elevator door was I saw these negative entities standing around your soul fragment, and they were repeating the same thing that that had been at the root of the trauma for you, which was they were sending love directly into this version of you, and they were trying to make you, the fragment of you, ascend, and you didn't want to ascend. This version of you wasn't ready. This fragment wasn't ready. And so it's like this, it's so common for our souls to choose the kind of like a time loop, like an infinite, eternal, what feels like an eternal loop of self punishment. It's like the self ridicule. So it's like these actual entities that are doing this are just manifestations of the inner pain and suffering that you're looping through. And Uriel has already, before we stepped out the elevator, has already pushed their energies back and pushed out this protective circle around this fragment of you. And I'm just leading us forwards now to just step forwards closer to this fragment of your soul. Are you able to, I can see it clearly, but I just wanted to ask if you can see it or feel it, Fiona, about what this fragment looks like.
Shapes, and sort of I've slowed before something here. Can't fully see it, but
Yeah.
There's a thing.
Yeah. Unusual to describe, but I see um, your your heart, like your heart chakra,
Mm-hmm.
and then wings, and then these angel wings, and that's it. Like that is the fragments of your form, and I'm hearing that you sent your heart and your wings here, and it and you did this in honor of the souls that you returned to source accidentally against their will. And I'm being asked now by source to bring forward a message for you. So I'd like to allow source to speak through me at this time. Fiona, you are loved and you are held at this time, and we want you to know that all of your actions are for reasons, and not all reasons are known to those that take those actions at that time. And you have self punished yourself for thousands and thousands of years now, in this time for the self punishment to stop. The reason, the reason that I source chose for this journey to play out, and for these 54 souls to return to me, to return to source against their will, was because of this moment, of this now. It is because of the preparation for you, Fiona. We needed Fiona to come into this lifetime, an incarnation of Uriel, to come into this human body and to be able to retrieve a heart and wings of an angel, and to wear them and to bear them as a human in human form in this third dimension. And every soul that you were deceived into returning to source chose to self sacrifice, paving the way for this moment, for this moment. And so I rejoice in their self sacrifice. And although they returned to me against their will, I want you to know, Fiona, that they have all since found their reasons, their journeys, and their rewards. And to know that over time, since I asked their souls to come against their will, that I have also repaid them. This is not your karmic debt, and this is not for you to pay. This is mine. They are my children, and I call them home. And just as your heart and your wings are yours, and they are time for you to call home. And your mission in this lifetime, if you choose, you are going to pick up these hearts, these wings. You're going to hold them on your back and bring your heart back in together as one. And you're going to show far more than 54 souls. You're going to show thousands of souls, millions of souls, how to find their angel wings, how to find their hearts again. When so many souls are lost on earth at this time, you will help them see the angelic side of each of us. Just as Gladiol is an aspect of you, is an aspect of Uriel. Each of us hold an aspect of an angel in us. And if you're ready, do you accept to take back your wings and your heart? Thank you. And I'm just allowing Source to step back out of me. Perfect. And I'm seeing you like, it's like you're standing there, Fiona, and it's like a backpack, like a rucksack. You're pulling your wings onto your shoulders and onto your back. And just allow yourself to be separate and yet together, like you're wearing
Oh wow, it's
a
doing
separate aspect of you.
the Caduceus thing.
Fantastic.
Oh my god, yeah.
They are they are your wings. They are yours once more. You're doing so well. Well done. And I just see you like you're lighting up brighter and brighter. It's a lot. And also where you're choosing to do it. This is from the
Yeah.
limited time I've spent with you. This is all incredibly
Yeah.
brave and very, very fast.
Yeah. I'm like, oh
So
my god,
well
what the
done.
fuck? Oh,
Incredible.
all right.
So I'm going to we're going to continue some of the integration, but I'm going to bring you back up first. So I'm just checking where we are. So we're still on minus level 54, and Uriel, it still has these big boundaries around us, like this protective tunnel. And he's ushering us back now, just pointing back to the elevator. So yeah, the four of us, as the four of us are walking towards the elevator, Uriel's like closing down this tunnel behind us, and we're leaving nothing. Nothing's left. Nothing is left of you. There's no remnants. There's no energies left, and there's no chords. Even the entities that were kind of battling with your soul fragment, they're not there anymore. They were just this. It's like a reflection of your own darkness, perpetuating this self punishment, this torment on yourself. And they didn't really exist. So just coming back to the elevator, stepping inside, and closing the door. And I'm hearing it's like your wings and your heart have a voice like of their own, and they're saying, I just hear them saying, well, good riddance. Like I am done. I am done with this place. As the door closes.
Awesome.
And just this delight that it's not really eternal. Like eternal,
Oh,
the good news is eternal torment is not eternal. It is just a feeling of eternity. Okay. And so that's the door closed, and I'm selecting. So there's a pattern for us to go back up. Um, and so we're going to climb up. I'm just being shown these numbers. Okay, so I'm just to say these numbers out loud as we rise up, and it's like we're kind of dodging backwards and forwards, like zigzagging up through the layers, and there's no further fragments, but it's like energetically like mopping up the previous like bouncing around as your soul fragment descended. We're like following that same path up. Okay, and I'm just asking Uriel just to make sure we're protected on that journey, since we'll be going through bouncing through different levels quickly. Okay. And so I'm just to press these numbers. Okay. So 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back up to the surface. And just allowing the door to open back up to the waiting room where we entered. And just stepping into the waiting room now. And in this waiting room, there is we left Gladial was here, this incarnation of you. And she's got this really bright light. Like I just see this energy really glowing brightly. And you can choose, Fiona, to reintegrate with Gladial and your fragments. And Fiona, you will lose nothing. Fiona will continue to exist in Fiona's full entirety. What Gladial will do is help bridge those. She becomes, as she integrates with you, she'll become a guide to you and an angelic guide along in partnership with Uriel. And so this completes all dimensions of you if you choose to reintegrate. And I'm seeing the nodding of your head as a yes. Fantastic. And so I'm just asking you now to just stand in front of Gladial, and you're wearing your new rediscovered angelic wings and your heart, and just stand opposite Gladial. You can reach, she's saying like reach out, you can reach out and touch her, you can like feel her energy, and you might choose to just touch her heart to begin with, her heart chakra, and just to hold her love and hold her. And from the highest dimension of source above, I'd bring down a column of golden lights to just above your crown chakra and just above Gladio's crown chakra. And we set the intention to reintegrate every dimension of Fiona and Gladio to become one again as one soul. Her wings, her heart, Fiona and Gladio as one. And as I bring this column of light down, coming down through your crown chakras and binding you together to be dimensions, different dimensions of the same soul, reuniting your crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra. And as I get to the heart chakra, just bringing in I'm going to make the om sound to help reintegrate your heart. Mm. Mm. Perfect. And then down through the solar plexus to the sacral chakra, and down to the root chakra, reintegrating, healing, and connecting your root chakra deep down to the ground, all the way down to the core of Mother Earth, and then bringing that light back up through your chakras, up through the top of your head and back up to the source of love of this universe. And just threading them back together now into your heart, like a figure of eight, where your heart is the center of that figure of eight, that infinity loop. And just allowing your energies to settle as one. And in this safe space, Fiona, is there anything you'd like to say to your fragment, to Gladial or Uriel, or any aspect of you?
I guess I'm just glad and a bit overwhelmed and glad.
Well done, Fiona. It's fantastic. Fantastic progress to see you integrate so fast. And this is where your journey together restarts and rebegins. And when you're ready, I'd like you to join me. I'm just checking the 3 doors to this waiting room are closed, and they are. And I'd like to reopen the center door that we entered in to take us back to where we started in this session. Just to walk through that door together, all 4 of us. And this includes Gladio, who's part of you now, part of your team, an aspect of you. And to return back into this safe space of where we first started, back in our bodies, as Fiona and Jon, now with all aspects of Fiona called back, with Gladio by your side, and Uriel, and the rest of your guides. And the rest of your guides are just like, they're like, yes. They're like, you're so brave. Well done. Oh,
My
wow.
cat
Your
has
cat
shown
just
up
turned up
too.
as well.
He's like perfect.
Wow. That's like, that is divine timing.
Yeah.
Your cats must be one of your guides, right?
Totally. He's not that bright. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um, and before I chat a little bit more, let me just do a scan through you just to see how your chakras are doing, and just to see if there's anything that needs to align. Just bringing down a column of golden lights, just checking through. Yeah, that's looking really good. There's a lot of really bright, like just very bright lights, and I see it's your like there's this rod of light between all your chakras,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this beautiful like it's like an angelic light, and it's reintegrating. And your guides were just saying, Jon, don't do more work on Fiona. Like Fiona's got like enough to be getting on with, um, and that it's all like set up to continue in the right path.
Nice.
Um, and your they're just saying your crown chakra, so your ability to talk with your guides is also like it's opened and opening up more,
Mm,
and
okay,
it's stronger and stronger.
good.
um yeah,
Sweet.
it's great to have friends in high places, right?
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
they're that's really helpful
Mhm.
to help you on your journey, and
Yeah,
encouraging you to talk to them out loud, you know, to ask them like they're physically here with
yeah,
you, and to ask whenever you need help.
yeah.
I'm just coming back to this moment myself. I'm just going to drink some coffee. It's like if I do a human thing, it like
Yeah,
helps
no,
me remember.
totally. It's true. Oof. Oh man.
That was incredible. You're
Yeah, that was
so
crazy.
brave, Fiona.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like we met a few hours ago.
Yeah.
We are chatting in Jenny's cave. You're like, hey, there's this thing I experienced during meditation, and then little did we know that we'd literally be going to
Oh
hell and
my
back
god. Holy shit.
a few hours later. And not only that, but uh you chose to do your reintegration in hell. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I've got these wings, I've got a heart, i'm I'm here, I'm gonna do this right now. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine, we could do it here. But it's incredible, like you're
Well, it sort of seems like something I guess I would have done, just been like, fuck this, hurl them down and storm off to hell. And then,
I don't want this job anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, I can I can imagine. um
Oh my God.
that was
Yeah.
it was so powerful.
Yeah.
um so thank you for your
Yeah.
incredible bravery.
For sure. No,
um
thank you. That's, I'm going to have to sit with that for a while. Yeah.
um and yeah, just to do this live on YouTube, right? Like why not
So
why not do it all at the
kind of,
same
kind of
time?
like forgot about that too.
Yeah. Hello everyone. uh I have not read anyone's comments at all.
Oh, I'm like,
uh
whatever, do your worst. I don't
yeah,
give a shit. Like,
and I was just thinking, actually, I have many moderators, so thank you,
mm.
whoever's moderating, if you somehow managed to keep some sanity in the chat. um
They're all like, oh my God, look at this chick. What the fuck?
that's right. um and there was something that Uriel said that was saying when we were actually it was Source, right? So Source was saying that your mission in this life,
Mm-hmm.
where you can help others find their angelic aspects of themselves. um
Mm-hmm.
and I like my because it's as I was channeling this, my like Jon's mind, my mind was like, there's really there's angelic aspects of ourselves, like we have aspects of angels. And it's a really challenging concept for many people, because including me, which is like equality, like knowing that every being, no matter what your frequency is or
Yeah.
your soul journey is, that we're all equal in the universe.
Yeah.
um and that really angels are like a manifestation of parts of us, right? They're like Archangel Michael's like the kind of, you know, warrior blend of darkness and light and protector.
Mm-hmm.
and and Uriel, incredible wisdom and great gatekeeper to like sovereign boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
to heaven and to hell. And it's like these aspects, they're all aspects of us and our abilities. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to, you've been through more than enough in today's session, so I'm not going to like work on that gift activation.
Yeah.
But what is really helpful to know is that it's something that you can choose to, once you go through this integration and working on yourself, there may be a time in the future that you choose to help others see
Mm,
these kind of superpower, these like angelic superpowers that they have within them, and help them find their wings again.
yeah.
I feel that there's many souls, including myself, who have like, thrown away those parts of ourselves in fits of rage and trauma that we've had in past lives, and that we
Hmm.
we we having them separate to us allows us to come to descend into earth, and then we raise our vibrations again, like you've been doing, like you've been through your awakening and come back into this
Yeah.
moment. You can then reintegrate this angelic aspect of you. um so don't ask me why we choose these dissension paths, or even why we
Yeah.
chose, but we're coming here for a reason to help,
Yeah.
to help planet earth and every living thing. And it's a real opportunity to see that there's there's an angel aspect in all of us that we can choose to activate.
Hmm. Yeah, and I've sort of felt something along the lines of like showing people that it's, I don't know, that it's safe to shine or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. Hmm.
Wow. But yeah, well done. Absolutely fabulous.
All right.
um so I'd like to, just before we finish, is there any questions you have that we can ask your guides or angels, we can assist with before we close down?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Just, am I doing okay?
Yeah, of course. Let me. Yeah, your higher self is saying like, all I'm here is like fast, 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 fast. Like this is all so fast. And this is, and if I just reflect, like you told me that you went from like November last
Yeah,
year, and
yeah.
we're only like on the 18th of
Mm.
February, and you've been like, I couldn't. That
Yeah,
is incredibly fast.
yes, yeah,
Even to be holding this conversation
yeah,
without
yeah.
losing our
No,
minds,
it's
it's incredible.
yeah.
So well done. You are doing an amazing job.
Okay.
It's incredible that you're holding yourself together through such a rapid uh, ascension and healing.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and
Got to
and
be that crazy kid, I guess.
that's right, yeah, that's right. Ascension. That sounds easy.
Just like,
Let's see how fast I can do this.
totally.
Um,
Let's rip.
that's
Like,
right. Yeah. Is it easier if you go faster?
yeah,
Um,
just
I I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
I know the answer to your question is you're doing fantastic. You can go as fast or as slow as you wish, but know that
Mm,
you don't need to go this fast all the time,
okay.
and that
Yeah.
you can, and
Maybe
encourage you,
breathe.
yeah, encouraging you to, yeah, like you're doing your arms, like
Yeah.
um when you're meditating,
Mm,
you can try like what you were doing with your arms, like stretching out your wings. And I'm seeing you, there's some, I'm not great with
oh my God.
birds, but go ahead.
I have one shoulder that always kind of rolls and is I wonder if it's to do with the wings, like,
Yeah.
and my scapulas, they lift
Mhm.
off like
Oh
wings.
wow.
And but
Amazing.
and there's always been like kind of a spinal sort of issue, like
Yeah,
this sort of thing. So wow, that I just kind of clued into that
that's so cool. um it's so cool that we're helping, right? And
yeah,
I'm
screw
seeing you like
chiropractic, like
yeah,
this is
here we go. just need to spread your angel wings and you're
Totally.
good.
Just go to hell instead,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
Um, in so in your, I'm seeing your meditation, but it's not like a. I don't know if you do yoga or like some stretching before
Mm-hmm. Yep.
meditation, but
Yeah.
if you spread out your wings, if you could see like
Mm-hmm.
my
Yep.
arms, and
Yeah. I do.
what
Yeah.
what you do is open up your heart. So imagine your heart chakra opening up, and with your wings open, and then invite in this golden light of
Mm-hmm.
source from the highest dimension above, and feel it like the sunshine. And you could do this outside too, in the sunshine,
Yeah.
and just set the intention of that golden energy to flow down. And I see what it's doing when you bring that down onto your wings is that it energizes you,
Mm-hmm.
like birds, like is it
Mm-hmm.
seabirds that will dry themselves off in the sun and they hold their wings out, and
Yeah.
that's what you're doing as an angel. You're holding yourself out to absorb that golden energy, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll really help with that integration as well.
Okay.
um
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps you would start with your human arms,
Yeah.
and then when you're ready, so you'd start by stretching out, and it gives your body this physical sensation of stretching out. And then I'm seeing you as you lower your arms for your, I can't do this because I don't, your wings. Imagine angel wings. um your angel wings then rise up, and so allow those um to spread out. um Coughing. I'll give you a moment. I think you're still muted.
I said probably the Buckley's is wearing off. Oh God.
Oh. So yeah, you can, as you lower your human arms, you can just raise those wings.
Sounds good.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And I would like to just bring this session to an end. I'd like to thank our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Source and Gaia, and every soul that's participated in today's session, and asking Fiona and myself, Jon, just to step outside of the session that we created, the bubble for the session. And we can remain in our individual golden bubbles. And for the session bubble, I'm returning to Source. Archangel Michael, please return to Source or never return here again. Thank you. It's just clearing up that energy. I'm just asking my guides, my higher self, to step back from Fiona's energy and to ask you, Fiona, to get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water, and keep in touch over the coming days. Just let me know how you're progressing each day. Feel free to reach out with any questions or anything that you want to share. And
For sure.
it's my pleasure to be able to help you in your integration and setting the intention for a smooth integration. And so it is. And I will stop the YouTube video. So thank you everyone for joining.